of you have heard of design thinking? Oh, nice, quite a few people. So design thinking is a process that is the means to the end of innovation. It doesn't guarantee success, but it certainly ups your chances of success. At the very least, you fail fast and you fail forward. And you learn from that so you can pivot or persevere. So our process actually has these 4 stages. And of course, it's not meant to be by any stretch of the imagination a linear process. As you can see with the arrows going back and forth, it's a very, very iterative process. It starts with what we call discover. When most startups or most innovators start, they start with an idea. Right then, you have a problem. Because why? You've not focused on the problem itself. You've started with a solution. And we think human beings, and in general, or more specifically, engineers are genetically engineered to solve problems. You see a problem, right away you've thought about the solution. You don't stay enough with the problem itself to understand it, to peel the layers of the onion, if you will. What happens is we jump into the solution. The discover process is really about going in with a hypothesis, saying, gosh, with the previous product, maybe there's problems with booking travel on a train. And you go in with curiosity. You go in with wanting to listen, wanting to hear, and really internalize and empathize with your potential users. That's the entire process of discovery. I've been in companies where we will force people, with every engineer will go off and talk to 2 customers. What happens is you just go talk to 2 customers, it becomes a glorified tech support call, and you come back and you don't know anything net new. The next process, which is really important, is that of insight. If you look at our visualization for insight, it's about connecting the dots, but there's a heart in the end, which is connecting the dots with empathy. A lot of times we say, hey, walk a mile in the customer's shoes. There's actually an interesting Indian adage that says, to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, you first have to take yours off. But how do you know what biases you have? What biases you have, you're often unaware of. They're usually things that you're not sure of. So how do you do that? You do that by really, really understanding and empathizing inherently with your potential customers. But after you do all of that, many of us stop with, okay, we know exactly what the person is going to do. What we ask you to do is actually articulate insights. Insights that then inspire innovation. Start with those keen insights, those aha moments. You have to actually synthesize the data that you're getting from customers in order to get to those insights. The next stage is what we call dream, which is the ideation stage. And you'll be surprised how many of us feel like we're going to be awesome at this stage. How many of you brainstorm when you want ideas? Come on, everyone does, right? We're very anti-brainstorm. We really are. Why? Because 2 things happen. Hippo decisions, which is highest paid person in the office. Decisions happen. The boss is there, then suddenly that idea is brilliant. And 2, the lowest common denominator idea actually wins. The idea that's out there gets judged. Oh, it's going to be hard to implement. And quickly, the person doesn't provide that idea. So in fact, one of the methodologies we use is think independently, but together. So we give ourselves time to think about the idea. And we keep growing it. We build it. We use divergent and convergent technologies, try multiple ideas before you start to narrow. And finally, disrupt. How many of you are familiar with Eric Ries and Lean Startup? Oh, great. This is an amazing audience. Finally, it's about disrupt, which is run rapid experiments with the customers. But run those rapid experiments that are focused on the biggest assumptions. Assumptions which, if not true, your entire idea falls flat on its face. That's really what design thinking is all about. It's starting with an open mind, synthesizing and getting those deep insights, insights that will help you inspire innovation, then get into the idea phase where you go broad, try multiple ideas before you start to narrow down to a few that you believe will be really disruptive. And finally, test those ideas rapidly with your customers. This is really what design thinking is. And it's a methodology. It's not the end. It's the means to the end of innovation. It's the means to the end of creating solutions, really, that your customers will love. I want to just give you a quick double click on it. Sorry, I think these slides were hidden. Often we get asked, gosh, for consumer type software, design thinking would be great, but what about enterprise software? What about this section of customers? I'll tell you that we've had the experience as Pensaar in the last 2.5 years to work across all of these domains. And I'll tell you this, design thinking, design is agnostic to the industry. It doesn't matter which industry you implement that in, it works. So it's something that's tried and tested for many years, and yet such few of us use it. And it's domain agnostic, as in works in every domain.